JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. So here's the update. April 23rd. Here we go. We are ready for the House to approve PPP 2.0 as they are calling it. Maybe sign into law here in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then we will be on red alert. When are they going to release it? But I'll tell you, the first thing you want to be paying attention to is the EIDL at SBA.gov. And here's why, because you get it at the website. You get it straight from the SBA. Here's what I'm recommending on the EIDL. Get in and get applied for it. ASAP, if you got less than $10,000, apply again. I don't know if they're resetting the button on it. I haven't heard anything saying otherwise, but the button right now is $1,000 per employee. So if you got $1,000 because you had one employee, or $4,000 because you had four, before they started doing that just a few weeks ago, it was 10 grand for the business that qualified. So if you got less than 10 grand, reapply. SBA is going to know that you already applied. Not pulling any funny business there. When they re-release it, there may be a new question in there that says, have you applied for it before? Yes, you don't qualify. Or have you applied for it? Yes, how much did you get? Here's the thing to know. There should be zero questions. It shouldn't be, well, I got this, can I got this, should I? Because that hesitation will cost you. It'll cost you not getting any. So you want to get the EIDL, but that comes online. That's not through the bank. So as soon as that comes online, you want to be doing that. And you want to be doing the PPP if you didn't already get the PPP. Now, someone asked today when I went live, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, JJ, why are you telling everybody to do EIDL and the PPP? Because before you were saying not to do both. Well, that was PPP 1, right? That was EIDL 1. EIDL now in the PPP expansion and the PPP now, okay, what they're making clear, unless they update the application, but what they're making clear is that EIDL is for different purposes than the PPP. EIDL is for everything related to your business. So if you can show that you're using it for other expenses besides what the PPP is using, you're able to get both. Excuse me. Now, if you're getting the EIDL, you need to pay attention. If they update the application, you say, yeah, I applied for the EIDL. How much? Well, best we know right now, it's $1,000 employee. If you already got an application in and you put down you have one employee, you think you're going to get $1,000 off of it, then put it on your application if they update it. Who cares if it's going to take away from your forgiveness? Because here's what we don't want to risk this time, is that maybe you don't get the PPP, maybe you don't get the EIDL, okay? There were different rules going into the PPP 1. Different rules on the application. It said, did you get an EIDL between, I think it was January 31st, and April 3rd? Yes. Disclose it. Okay. After April 3rd, different. So this is what you're doing with the next go, is you're applying for both, right? So if you got PPP and you didn't get EIDL, get an EIDL. If you didn't get either, apply for both. If you got EIDL and you got 10 grand, you didn't get the PPP, then you do the PPP. If you got some of the EIDL, none of the PPP, reapply for the EIDL, see if you can get the full amount, and go for the PPP. Now, questions are on the employee retention credit. If you take the employee retention credit, does that preclude you from getting PPP? Doesn't appear that there's anywhere saying that you're precluded from that. However, you're going to want to wait, because if you're planning to get PPP and you're thinking about doing the ERC because you didn't previously have the PPP, you'll have to do a recapture. May not be a big deal, but hold your position on the ERC. Now, if you didn't get PPP and you got the ERC, you sent that $7,200 in, all right, no biggie. Do the PPP, and then at forgiveness time, it may be that whatever it is that you are going to have forgiven, it'll be reduced by the amount that you took on the ERC. Yes, it comes out in the wash. If you don't get PPP2, you don't get the IDL, then you're taking the ERC, right? So then on the stimulus checks, they're still working on them. Maybe only a third of the checks have gone out. So I'm getting a lot of increased in questions and emails about it. Sit tight. The ones that got out last week were the ones they had the direct deposit on. It's probably people that have been getting refunds all along. They already filed 18 and 19, but I've seen no rhyme or reason when clients have logged in to be able to successfully get a determination of what they qualify for. Most everybody's that just says, I don't know. The IRS does. The website's like, I don't know. And then there's been some that have been able to successfully get through and update their information. You go to get my payment. Some have gone in and they can't get it updated. Okay, it's just the system. There's really nothing else we can do about it though. You can go to get my payment, that's it. There's the only thing you can do about it. That's it. So if that doesn't work for you, then you just gonna have to wait. There's really no other thing to do. There's no one to call, you can't email, you can't mail them. Sit. So just sit tight, because I've had clients that they couldn't get in, they were freaking out, boom, then their money got deposited the next day. So the last thing is that on the SBA Loan Express, okay? That's $25,000, okay? That's in addition, that's through an SBA lender, doesn't have anything to do with PPP or ERC or EIDL in the sense of EIDL of the $10,000, up to $10,000 advance. The $25,000 is above and beyond, okay? So I got a little recap here for you, all right? So we're talking on PPP2. One of the things we want to look for is there going to be a new application? Okay, is there going to be a new application? And then your concern that should be right now is, do you have the right bank picked? Okay, if you're at a large bank, I can't tell you what to do. I mean, I know you're wanting me or somebody to say to you, go from the big bank. You're just going to have to make your own decision, but let's just think about it a little bit, okay? If you're at the big bank and they're still asking you for information, and they're saying, hey, can I get the 941s? And you're clearly a Schedule C. And if they say, don't reply to this email, you have to go to the portal, you're going to have to figure out on the frequently asked questions. You're just going to have to decide on your own if that makes sense for you for PPP 2.0. You're just going to have to decide on your own. If it's not working so far, is it going to work for PPP 2? So, you can see my other videos. Find another bank. You can let it sit at the bank that you're at, but go find another bank. Where? SBA.gov. Go find a lender. Look around the website. Go to PPP. There's an option for that. Google. Okay, we know somebody, Jason. It's gone to 14 different banks. Figure it out. Okay, you need a little more fire lit under your rear end over this. Go see the video where it says, in the coach's huddle. Show a little flame on it. Get you lit underneath your you-know-what. Right? Get up in your grill, right? Let's go. Stop looking around, stop asking questions, stop hesitating. Don't ask, if I'm at this bank, should I go somewhere else? What do you think? Why are you asking? So that's our main thing when we're talking about on PPP. Our concern is there going to be a new app? We don't know. If there is, be ready to rock, okay? Get all your documents gathered up. If you're going to go to a new bank, have everything ready to go. Make phone calls, make it your full-time job tomorrow. Now, you're figuring it out. There's nothing else that matters. There's nothing else that matters, okay? Now, some people are talking about going to PayPal or Cabbage or whatever. I don't have any personal experience with that. I don't have any clients doing it. I don't know, okay? I don't know, okay? They already were taking applications. I don't know what that means. Okay, but it's an option to look at. Now, when we're talking about the PPP, okay, if you're an employer, it's your 941. If you haven't done this ever before, it's your Form 941 plus the employer paid insurance plus the employer paid retirement, okay, and the SUTA. If you're self-employed, it's Schedule C, line 31, that's for self-employed sole proprietor. Okay, it's line 31. It is 2019. That's it. That's what they're going to accept. Period. The end. Period. The end. So if you've got a Schedule C, or you file on a Schedule C, and it's not done, okay, just go through my video list. You'll find Schedule C videos. You'll see them under PPP self-employed. And I talk about the Schedule C, where to find it, how to prep it. It's not time to sit there and go, well, gosh, I don't know what to do. If you own a business, if you make money on your own, you can figure out Schedule C, okay? It's not optimal, right? So I use this analogy that if you're a hairstylist You would never tell one of your clients in a million years to go cut their own hair, let alone their own bangs. But if you were a hairstylist and the only way that your client could make it to shore on a raft in the middle of the ocean was to cut their own bangs, you could tell them to cut their own bangs, because guess what? You pull those bangs down and you start snipping. Is it going to be the best one? No. Okay? But whatever you do on that Schedule C, you got to file with the IRS. So here we have the EIDL is also a 2.0. They're getting ready to reload it. So on the PPP, right, they're getting ready to load up. Okay, it was 349 billion before. Now it's going to 659 billion. Okay, so they're doing another 310 billion. They are setting aside 60 billion to go to the smaller banks. Okay, that's why I say on the bank, okay, maybe you need to be looking at the smaller one if you're making a shift. Or maybe PayPal's going to be the answer. I don't know. But sitting around at a bank that you were at before, not doing anything about it, may not be the best way to go. So on the EIDL, you are doing that and the and the PPP this time. Why? Because it's 2.0. So when you're looking at this, what do you need on the EIDL? First of all, you're getting at sba.gov. Okay, it's based on the number of employees. You're going to need your EIN, and you're going to need your income and your expenses. And then if you got less than $10,000, you're going to apply again. Okay, what's my income and expenses? Well, it's basically what you did last year. You know, total income, total expenses. You can't overthink it. Okay, it doesn't say on there even 2019, 12 months. It doesn't say, is it GAAP, financials, is it, you know, cash or accrual. It's saying what's your income, what's your expense. So if you want to get hesitations and you're going to be concerned about it, then don't do it. Then don't do it. But you need to figure it out now. Okay, whether it's a phone call or looking at your bank statements or going through and figuring out what it is that you did last year, figure it out. Okay, employee retention credit, that's on Form 7200, right? That's 50% of whatever you paid your employees if you're 100 or less employees. And that's March 13th through March 31st. Whatever you paid them times 50%, you send that 7,200 in and you get a credit for 50%. However, as I said at the beginning, if you're doing PPP, you're messing with PPP, you need to hold tight. IRS does need to come out and clarify when it is that, or how the recapture is done. All you need to know right now is on ERC, you're sitting tight if you're planning on PPP. Just sit tight, okay? But have it ready in your back pocket. So on the IRS, go to irs.gov and look for Get My Payment. That's where you go and you would enter in your information on your account number. And here's the thing, I know people are like, you know, they want to log in. It's just kind of human nature. They want to log in and then they want, you know, how much am I going to qualify for? There's not, you know, technically there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just all you're going to do is add aggravation to yourself. Because if they have your correct address, if they have your bank account number, then if you qualify, you're going to get the money. I mean, you can go online and, you know, we're all home. There's nothing else to do. But just be aware that I actually, now that I say it out loud, I may be compared to what I said in the beginning, I can't think of one person who logged in and was able to confirm the amount they were getting. Not one. So you can log in and go to Get My Payment and then send an email and go, well, what happened? Because it said this and it said didn't have enough information, didn't know if I was eligible. And all you're doing is you're just creating conflict for yourself. So just know this, I don't have an answer for you. I mean, you logged in and you got the message that you got. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do. The last thing is, if you're needing more than whatever your PPP is going to qualify for, okay, the SBA Express loan, 25K is in play. You get that at a bank, okay? That's in addition to all this. And when you get the, you know, an SBA loan, that doesn't have any effect on your ERC or EIDL or your PPP because it's a loan. You're going to have to pay it back. It is based on credit. Side note on the EIDL, people are saying, oh, they checked my credit. Well, I think, you know, they're checking your credit, but they're not checking your credit. Okay, it's just more of a, like they're doing a ping make sure that you're real. Okay? That's really what they're doing. And I think they're also doing it as a way to track. So this is the update, 4/23. What are we doing? We are on red alert to do EIDL, the PPP. We need to pay attention if there's a new application and then immediately get it filled out. Make sure between now and whenever they get this thing rolling, which could be in a matter of a day or 2 or 3, or maybe it's Monday, I don't know. Could be ASAP, could be immediate, could be without notice, could be, oh crap, they're already doing it. So gather up everything on your application, make sure you're at the right bank. Right bank as in, are you already banging your head just trying to wrap up before? So here's the thing. I think this is the last round, right? We're starting to open up. Things are opening up here in Oklahoma. They laid out a plan, depending on where you are in the state, but in Oklahoma City area, May 1, boom, people are getting nails and hair done, and restaurants are opening, but you got to be, 6 feet apart and all this good stuff. And then after 2 weeks, it's the next phase. And then after 2 weeks, it's the next phase. Okay, so we're going into the month of, getting kind of back to business in some way, shape, or form. So there's not going to be any more help after this. And then in closing, I'll just say this. If you don't need the help, you don't need to do this for whatever reason. EIDL, you get it, it's a grant, you don't have to pay it back. It's not that it's forgivable or not, it's just you don't pay it back. PPP, you got to use it for what it's intended. Go to my website, jjcpahelp.com, go to the forgiveness page for the details on that, whether you're an employer or self-employed, you have 2 separate kind of roads to go there. But be ready, be alert, be ready, be alert. Be ready, be alert, be paying attention. Okay? So we'll be trying to put it on all social media. If there's a new app, put on all social media when there's a new EIDL, put on all social media when we know that, PPP is opening up. Okay, but what are you doing now? It'll be too late if you wait for the funds to come out to then try and figure anything out here. Okay, so if you're a procrastinator, it'll just be on you if you don't get it this round. It'll just be totally on you because it's going to go like that. EIDL, hours. Could be hours and it's out. Check this out. SBA, okay, they had 10 billion. Okay, I read one report. They had 400 billion requested by the public. What? I mean, even if I got the number wrong and it's 40 billion, but I'm sure it was 400 billion. But even if it's 40 billion, it was 4-1. That EIDL might come online at like 4 a.m. and it's gone before breakfast is served. There's just going to be no time to hesitation. I told you what you needed right here. Okay? Where do I get the income? Where do I get this? Why are you asking questions? Get it. Figure it out. Google it. Figure it out. I mean, if you own a business, how is it that you don't know what you made and what your expenses are? How do you not know that? See ya. Okay, PPP. If you haven't done it before and you don't have your 941s, I mean, if you don't have them in the next 24 hours, I don't even know why you're even trying for the PPP. Like, you might as well just give it, you might just hang it up because there's people in line before you. How do you know if you need 941? Are you doing W-2s? You got to think straight here. Okay? I mean, like, did you have a job when you were in high school or in college? A W-2 it's a form W-2, not a 1099. W-2 is taxes are withheld. Withheld. That means you got paid $1,000, but taxes got withheld. So are you doing that with yourself? Are you doing it with your employees? Okay, there's no such thing as 1099 employees. Don't keep using that terminology. No such thing, period. The end. And starting 1/1/20, it's a $5,000 fine. $5,000 fine per you calling somebody a 1099 employee. So stop using that language. Stop it. No such thing. Okay? So if you're paying wages, wherever the wages are getting paid from, the PPP is based on those wages. If you don't have that, okay, then you're a sole proprietor, meaning you're not filing a separate return. You need Schedule C, 2019, it's line 31, period. You can't sit around and go, well, could I do 18? No. What can I do the last 12 months? No. Does it have to be a Schedule C 2019? Yes. Are you sure it's line 31? Yes. How do I get that? IRS.gov, put in Schedule C. Go to a software, okay? I never recommend that stuff. But you're on a raft, you're in the middle of the ocean, you're gonna either have to figure it out or not. You're gonna either have to go, well, I don't know how to cut my bangs. Do I hold the scissors this way? Do I hold the scissors that way? Do I stab myself first? Do I throw them in the ocean and then dive and try and find the scissors and then just take a deep breath, because in 1 hour, you go to my videos, you go to Schedule C, you can have it all figured out 1 hour from now. Okay, so if you don't do it now, then you really don't want to do it. What you're wanting is, no offense to you, you're wanting the excitement of not getting it. Okay, is that insulting? Does that make you a little mad? Good. Am I up in your grill? Good. Because what I'm tired of, and when I say what I'm tired of is people saying they need help, saying that they need to get the answers, saying help, help, help. When you haven't really watched one video, you haven't gone to my website, you haven't done these things. So it's all been provided for you, okay? So if you want to sit in your car and then try and figure out what line to go in and then watch everybody else come back with ice cream and then go, well, where do I get ice cream and how come someone didn't tell me? Okay, welcome to the life of being a sole proprietor, self-employed, having your own business. If you don't know what that really means, if you've just been goofing off and you're just making money for fun and you got a lemonade stand and you're not really making any money, then I don't know that you really need this money. Then I don't know that you need the PPP or EIDL if you're just running around trying to figure out how you can get an ice cream cone too. Right? So if you're really serious about it, then get it figured out and get it done. Because guess what? By this time next week, it'll all be gone and there's nothing to do. And I don't even want to hear any about frustrations if you didn't have your ducks in a row within an hour of this video, if you haven't watched them before. Okay? Within an hour. Go to the playlist. You don't know anything about YouTube? Go to YouTube, put in JJ the CPA. There's a playlist. You go down, you see PPP self-employed, you see PPPP, you see PPP application. You go to jjthecpahelp.com. Got a page with the application and information and worksheets and calculations, okay? You go to another page, it's all about the forgiveness. You go to sba.gov, okay? So if you know how to make money, then you should be able to figure this out, okay? I've been doing this a long time, so I know people are just like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, it's numbers and I just didn't really know. It's because you decided not to know. You decided to be confused. You decided that you wanted to be lazy. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just being truthful. Okay? Well, I'm really good at selling this, but I'm not good at the business. Then why are you a business owner? It's really easy, okay? Do you know what cash looks like? Okay, cash came in, that's money. That's your income. Cash came in. Income, that's it. It's that simple. Money that goes out, there's your expenses. Yeah, there's a few caveats. If you're borrowing money and you're paying loans, well, not income, not an expense. Oh my gosh, now I'm confused. Then why do you even own a business? Okay, if you're still standing in the rain, when somebody's saying, hey, get over here, just come on underneath the overhang. You're like, yeah, but I didn't know where to go. I see you have an umbrella over there and you're getting soaked. You have an umbrella, how come you have an umbrella? Hey, where'd you get that umbrella? Oh, you have a jacket with a hood? How'd you get a jacket with a hood? Meanwhile, you're in the rain and somebody like me is just going, hey, just come in. You don't even need an umbrella. Just come on in over this overhang. Come on in. Well, do I step with my right foot first or my left foot first? It's just so confusing. I'm so confused because they have an umbrella and then they have a hood. And then I didn't know if I should step with my left foot or my right foot. So I'm just going to sit here and get soaked. And then when it's all over, I'm just going to complain to everybody that I didn't get any help. Don't be that. Don't be it. So when I say this is the update for 423, take this the updates in a few days will be, hey, it's all over with. So now here's what we do post PPP2. So if you've made it to here, I bet you're on it. If you made it to here, you're probably going to jjthecpahelp.com. And I'm telling you right now, there's no email to enter. I get nothing out of it. There's no secret meeting to have later. There's no secret Facebook page to have later. There's no free seminar. You're not going to get an email and then get the information that you need. Okay, so get it done. Because I'm telling you, maybe one more, maybe 2 more updates, and this money's gone. So I'm glad you stumbled upon this video. I'm glad that you watched until now. And then I go live every day, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. But don't come to the 4 p.m. Central Standard Time and then say, should I leave this big bank? Don't come to that and say, hey, can I get PPP and EIDL? Don't come to it and say, can I get PPP if I already got PPP? No. Don't say, well, if I got EIDL, should I reapply? Yes, if it was less than 10 grand. You know, right? These are all the basics. That's still, I haven't really decided I want to do anything because it's more fun to do what? I don't know, watch soap operas, get on Facebook, and, you know, what are you doing? So I'll just say this in closing. If you don't have it figured out, then you're not a real business owner. Or if you don't have it figured out, you don't need this money. Maybe you're a real business owner, but you don't need the money. You just see it as a way that you can get some extras. Does that offend you? Well, good. Maybe it'll put a little fire under your butt to get her done. Okay? Show me that you're a real business owner. Why don't you prove it? Prove it. You know how you prove it? You solve it. You figure out how to cut your bangs. You figure out how to prep up a Schedule C. Right? And then the people are like, well, I can't believe you're telling people to do Schedule C. Well, I mean, do you cut your own nails or do you only go to a salon? Okay. Well, I only go to a salon. Okay, well, the salons are closed. Are you going to cut your nails? You're going to figure out how to do that? Or you're just going to go 6 weeks without cutting your nails? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't have it both ways. So we're in an emergency state. Businesses are closed. Whoever's prepping your return probably can't get to it. So get after it this way. Prep it up yourself. Big deal. So 1 year out of whatever, you have to prep up your own Schedule C. Big deal. Because if you watch the videos that I put together, okay, it's not that big a deal. So post all this, I'll be doing a reality show, but on that reality show, what I'm hoping people will get out of that is like, wow, you know, the numbers part isn't really actually all that scary. It's not all that difficult. It actually makes sense, and it's pretty easy. Because if you know how to do this as a business owner, okay, someone walks up and they say, how much? And you say, $40. And they hand you a $50 bill. Okay, you take the 40 and then you give them $10 back. Okay. And then you go, well, I had to go buy some lemons and I had to pay this one person to stand there for 3 hours. And so I had to pay, you know, $5 for the lemons, $10 for somebody to stand there for the hour. So I had to spend $15. So at the end of the day, I got 50 in, I gave 10 and change. So I'm sitting there with 40. I paid 5, I got 35. I paid out 10, I got 25 left. There's financial statements, ladies and gentlemen. There's financial statements. There's your income statement. There's your cash flow. There's your net profit. There's your labor cost. And there's your cost of goods sold. It is that freaking simple. It is that simple. That's what you need to go and do these things. I'm just saying it almost like, what if tomorrow's like the last update I do? What if tomorrow's the last update I do? And then boom. And they're off to the races. You can't, when everybody's already taken off from this, you know, like do the gun and everybody's taken off, that can't be when then you start walking around and trying to figure out what a 941 is and where do I get a copy of the application and should I do this, should I do that, should I do this? You got to figure it out now. So, all right, listen, I appreciate you all. I'd love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Hey, by the way, go to iTunes, not for the podcast, okay? But right here, this, look up JJ the CPA. Got Apple Music, doesn't cost you nothing. If you don't, right there, a song, 99 cents, JJ the CPA, money never sleeps.